So, so yeah, I think anybody can call me what they feel. A lot of Muslims, they like to call me Naila now.
How does it feel to be Muslim?
Amazing, undescribable. Sometimes when people touch my life or when Allah touches me, it's a feeling that I never thought I could feel. It's like overwhelming compared to any sense of happiness that I've ever had in my life before this.
In what way is it different than before?
I'm much more patient now. I'm more understanding, more accepting. I'm not afraid to die anymore. Like before, when I didn't believe there's anything after death, that this is all we have and then it's over and whatever you do with this time is what you do. But now it's like, whatever I don't do now, I can do later. It's like an unlimited amount of time, and it just makes refraining from all the things we shouldn't do so much easier to know that there's going to be 10,000 times better things that we can't even imagine afterwards, I think. And yeah, I'm just a lot more at peace in my everyday life, in the way that I deal with people, in the way I deal with my work.
How has it changed your everyday life?
Well, I'm a modest woman now, so let's not go into too much detail about the things I used to do. But because of prayers, I have more structure. 5 times a day, and I gotta wake up early in the morning, and I gotta, you know, make sure that I'm in a good state of mind 5 times a day. And just those 15 minutes 5 times a day really makes you calm, makes you like so at ease, and whatever problem you had before you went into the surah or the mosque is like, it's gone once you come out. It's already settled and you feel like there's a solution for it. Before, like, I only could rely on myself. Now I know I have something up there watching over me in every second of every detail of my life. And that makes me feel so secure. It's so safe. Like when I see other people in trouble or whatever and they're not turning to Allah, like I beg them, like, please just go and pray, you know. Don't just pray now and not pray later when you're not in trouble anymore. Like, pray and get out of trouble and see the power of Allah and continue, because like every time you pray, there's going to be problems in your life and they're going to be solved for you so easy. Because once you commit yourself to Allah, Allah commits himself fully to you as well. Modesty. I guess from the beginning, just changing my life 360 degrees. Like, if I were to tell myself 2 years ago that I would be a Muslim now and that I wouldn't be doing anything haram and, you know, I would be working towards a whole different purpose, I wouldn't have believed myself. And just the transformation that the past year has had on me, I think has been my biggest tribulation, to change Western mindset into like a whole different concept now. It's like you're not living for yourself and your family, you're living for the entire earth now. And being a convert into Islam, it's like Muslims will tell you that Allah loves converts more than people who are born into Islam. Because I feel like I was given this gift that Allah like saved me and like gave me this beautiful gift of Islam, and if I don't appreciate or respect that, it's like 10,000 times more disrespect on Allah than if somebody was just born into it and was told to be Muslim from the beginning. So I think, yeah, just trying to deal with the guilt when I do slip. But I mean, everybody says Islam is easy, but I don't like to take it so easy because then I think I'm going to get lazy. They say like there's always a way and there's always a reason as long as you have the niyyah, the intention to do good and stuff, but I think like we shouldn't take it so easy like that, because we are given a beautiful gift that a lot of people, they'll never be so lucky to see this beautiful, caring, loving, giving society that Islam creates if it's done properly. Wow, when you asked the first part of the question, do I get support from other Muslims, I was going to say overwhelming amount of support. So yes, to your second part, is it overwhelming? Yeah, sometimes it really is. It's like every Muslim I meet, they want to give me something. Whether it's prayer beads or a prayer mat or a book or a Quran, like I have like...
Or advice.
Or advice. I have like 5 different versions of the Quran, different translations. I have one from 1980, like... I get some really crazy, cool gifts and advice and support from every Muslim. Like they when I tell them I'm a convert, their face like lights up like, mashallah, I'm so happy to meet you and welcome, and they want to hug me, and just like, you know, if you ever need anything, call me, if you need advice, if you need this. And it's, I never felt like I'm from Canada, so we do have a very good sense of community. Like when you pass by someone on the street, they'll greet you hello and, you know, whatever. So it is kind of like that Islamic value also, but the extent of it in Islam is like, mashallah, amazing. People just, they're so happy to see that you embraced Islam, and they also want your prayers, I think. Because the dua from converts is big. Maybe they have a little bit of their own intention in there, but genuinely I think mainly they're just really happy to see somebody have been saved from the dark side. No, I don't need a lot more now. I think I needed a lot more before, but now because I take everything a lot more easy now. And this is the test. This isn't the final frontier, you know, this isn't it. So everything that happens to me in this life, I'm a lot more easygoing on it, I guess. Much more calm. Yeah, much more calm. I've seen myself in a lot of situations recently that I would usually flip out, but kind of remind myself to take a breather and, you know, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't accept the fact that I'm wrong before. But maybe it's because I'm stepping into something that I knew nothing, well, little to nothing about. I did know a bit about Islam before. I knew a lot of Muslims, so because I don't know anything, I kind of have to be accepting of what people tell me more, and because I'm always looking for new information about Islam. Like I'm always, if I meet somebody who's got good knowledge, I really love to get into their conversation and hear what they have to tell me about Quran or Hadith or the history of Islam and how it's changed today or whatever the topic may be. So I think, yeah, I hope I don't go back to the same way before when I have a lot of knowledge. I don't think I will. I think I'll learn a good lesson from this, because it's good to be able to admit when you're wrong and accept good advice and good information from reasonable sources, I guess. Not from everybody. You do have to be a skeptic, because there's a lot of people who are full of a lot of nothing. I think it's really hard to convert people. Like, Muslims find my story really inspiring, and maybe somebody who's interested in Islam will find it inspiring, but it's not really our job anyway to convert people, because...
Is it not? Doesn't say in the Quran.
Well, I mean, only Allah can guide who He wills. You could give somebody a million pieces of evidence of why the Quran is 100% true and the real last book of Allah, but even then their own stubbornness and the veil that's been put over their hearts by Allah can't be lifted by us. Of course it's our job to give right information, and where is asked to inspire and to show what a good Muslim is and where the truth of Islam lies. But I mean, if they're not meant to come to Islam, there's nothing really we can do about it. And I think that's the hardest part. I mean, if you see somebody has a very open heart, yeah, do your best, but don't push, never force. Because anybody who's pushed into something won't do it well. I've seen this with somebody who converted recently. He converted because of his girlfriend, and I still see him wearing his cross, and he doesn't really keep up with prayers from what I see. He doesn't come to Friday prayers with us anymore, and I think it wasn't his choice so much to come into Islam, so he doesn't really feel the true spirit of it, as opposed to, maybe to sound a bit full of myself, but me, like, I really dove into it because it was fully my choice. Tons of people have told me about Islam for years and years, and I didn't care. I was, whatever, I'm not gonna join this, and it has nothing to do with me, and it's all lies, or astaghfirullah azim. But yeah, I think if that person's willing to know and willing to open their heart, yeah, do all we can to show them the truth and tell from our own stories and use the Quran as evidence to back it up, because people relate more to something they know is real as opposed to what they know has been in a book. I think it's more the media perception of Muslims that make people turn away from the idea of ever coming to Islam or even looking to be interested possibly in it. I think a lot of Muslims do give a bad perception of Islam too, but mean, you can't judge something based on everything. I study Christianity, I study Buddhism. Mainly, I don't like human influence of religion, which is why I don't base my opinion of religion on people, because if you follow what people are doing, then you're never going to see the truth. You need to really study it. And yeah, before I converted, I read the Quran. Well, I read half of it in Ramadan, but I did a lot of research before. I put a lot of things into practice, such as patience, and I saw the benefits and the fruits of Islam come back to me before I decided. SubhanAllah, Allah sent me a lot of blessings to show me what's the miracle of Islam. So yeah, I did study a lot, and I did make sure that I read at least half the Quran before I converted, because stepping into a religion isn't something small.
Muslim girl that happens to be pretty, white, and very blonde has the number of marriage proposals from Arab Muslim boys skyrocketed.
Yes. Yeah.
How many so far?
Uncountable.
Really? In the past year?
Yeah, I've had some pretty interesting proposals. So, yeah, I mean, some who are like, because a lot of the people that I meet are still students. A lot of them are like, in a year, if you're still single, I want to marry you. But it's quite nice, because I have very high expectations on my Muslim man. So even if I'm not gonna pick the ones who are trying to get my hand, I do kind of give them like little tests and tasks to like overcome to become really good Muslim men. So even if I don't choose them in the end, inshallah, they're good men for another woman to come, like to build themselves and to pray more and to stop doing haram things such as drinking. I always like push them if they like me. Like I'm like, I would never be with a guy who drinks, so you better stop that now. And a lot of the time they do if they're really serious about it. I'm taking my time. I'm gonna really get to know them as friends before I actually make a decision as to who I want to marry, I guess. I do want to get married soon though. I totally winked it. A year.
A year?
Yeah, I've been Muslim for a year, and I became veiled or with a hijab 2 weeks ago. I actually came to this decision a few months ago. I didn't really understand it before that. I know it says it in the Quran that we should cover from our hair and from our wrists to our ankles. So, but I was sitting at, okay, I went down to the pool one day. I wanted to tan. So I went down in my dress and my bathing suit underneath, and at the pool there was a whole Muslim family. And the women were all at the side in their hijabs and in the shade, and the men were in the pool having fun and playing, and I felt so, and at this point, like, I didn't know that these Islamic values were inside of me. I was so shocked to see me feeling like this. I was so shy to take off my dress. I didn't want to take the attention of their husbands. I didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. And I ended up not taking off my dress. I put my feet in the water. I listened to music, and I was just thinking about why do I feel this way, and why does Allah ask us to cover? And it came to the conclusion that men are very visual, as most men will tell you, and they pick their women a lot more based on looks than women pick their men. For women, being a good sustainer, a provider, protection, caring, you know, these are all much more important for women than looks. So it kind of evens the playing field more. Like, being a blonde, white Muslim, I get a pretty good advantage over Arab women. Yeah, and you know, it's a gift, our beauty as women. We were made the beautiful of the two. You know, men are very like a board. They're straight, and you know, they're not much to really look at actually physically. So we were given this gift to be the beautiful creatures on earth, and that gift should be saved for the one we love and the one who we will bear children for. And it really kicked to me then that, yeah, I do want to wear hijab. So I did plan on wearing it for Ramadan, which is in 2 weeks, but I had some problems with modesty. So I decided if I wear a hijab, I'm forcing myself to be modest. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something, because even though I have really strong faith in Allah, we're all very weak as human beings. So I did want something to push me to be modest more and to be more conservative in my lifestyle and in my thoughts and in my mentality. So yeah, wearing hijab for me was definitely the right choice, and everybody's been so supportive of me since I put it on, and it's like I get to dye my hair every day. It's a totally different thing. My family has been super supportive. My mom found the Qibla direction, the closest mosque. She cooked halal food and normal food while I was there. I gave them Quran. My friends were all very interested and supportive in my religion as well, and they all just really wanted to know about Quran. What is it going to mean? Am I going to wear hijab? And yeah, they were all really really supportive. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So happy for that. I know a lot of people aren't as lucky as me. I know that really, really too well. So I thank God so much for giving me the family I have and the friends that I have. Everything, subhanallah, like just look around you, look at every minute of your life, like every time that you don't get in that car accident, every time that, you know, something comes to you that you thought was impossible to happen, subhanallah, like that guides me to be a better Muslim and to just thank Allah more and more every day. Well, if you could put your faith in Allah and see what comes out of it, because the only way to truly test it is to take the leap. Put your faith in it. Like, even though I wasn't sure yet, when I started to put these Islamic values into practice, Allah rewarded me, even though I hadn't even said Shahada yet. So, I mean, if you're in doubt about it, then just try. You don't have to say your Shahada yet, but read Quran, learn what it's about. It's about feeding your neighbor, feeding the people you don't know, ending slavery. Like, it's so, subhanAllah, everything that you, if you're a good person, believe the world should be, that's what Islam really is. It's just been twisted in media and other people's perception to be what it's not. So if you really want to get to know it, ask people around you who are Muslim. See the kindness in Muslims' hearts, and then you'll be able to really understand what it's all about.
Thank you, Victoria Nail.
Thank you. One love.